Communications Minister Jason Clare, and another leak from the NBN, this time showing that the fibre to the distribution point, which is basically a pit outside your home as opposed to fibre to the premises, but the costs are comparable to fibre to the node, which is the government's plan.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we already know that this is a mess. The cost of the NBN is double what Turnbull promised it would be. It's now going to take twice as long as Malcolm Turnbull said it would to roll out his second-rate copper version of the NBN. We've had leak after leak from NBN Co, 5 leaks in the last few weeks. Now we've got a 6th leak, and this document shows that the cost of rolling out fibre to the pit out the front of your house is now roughly the same cost as rolling out fibre to the node. So this blows Malcolm Turnbull's fibre to the node version of the NBN out of the water. And the only reason that Malcolm Turnbull is not ditching fibre to the node is because rolling this out will prove that he was wrong.
But aren't they also pursuing this? Isn't it a mix of options? Isn't the reason they know that this is proving cost effective because the government's pursuing it?
What was revealed yesterday is that 12 months ago, the head of the NBN took this proposal to the NBN board and said that we should be looking at rolling this out. Nothing's happened because if they roll this out, it'd be humiliating for Malcolm Turnbull. It would prove that fibre to the node, which is much slower, 10 times slower than this technology, it would prove that fibre to the node is wrong. And we know Malcolm Turnbull...
But just clarify for me, isn't fibre to the distribution point, which is sort of the halfway house between fibre to the node and fibre to the home, isn't that also part of the Turnbull plan?
No, it's not.
It's not. It's not being rolled out at any point.
No, it's not. There was a trial run in Ballarat last year of a new type of skinny fibre all the way to the house, and what that trial showed is that running fibre to about 10 metres away from the house can deliver much faster internet speeds, and you could build it for almost the same cost.
And the government's not doing that at in any part of the country.
Because Malcolm Turnbull's a bit like Fonzie from Happy Days. The leather jacket wearing Prime Minister just can't say he's wrong. And what I'm saying is that this proves Malcolm Turnbull was wrong to roll out a slower copper version of the NBN, and he should be doing this.
Oh, well, isn't it true then that Labor should have looked at this as well? Because was this a possible scenario under your plan?
This is
fibre to the distribution point.
No, this is technology developed by Cornings in the last few years that helps to roll out fibre much cheaper. The cost of rolling out fibre to the home is going down significantly now because of this new technology. What's astounding is that Malcolm Turnbull's put his head in the sand and said we're not going to do this, even though it's faster.
But was this an option under Labor? The point is, was this an option under Labor?
No, it wasn't, because this technology's been developed in the last few years.
So doesn't it show you then that Conroy and Gillard and Rudd, for that matter, that they jumped the mark to begin with? Because if you've got better technology now, doesn't it prove Turnbull's right?
We always said that the cost of rolling out fibre would go down as new technologies developed. This shows it's right. If Malcolm Turnbull is as agile and nimble as he says he is, then he'd roll this out rather than the slower copper NBN that he's rolling out now.
But I guess the point is, if you had committed to fibre to the premises from the outset and you didn't factor in this option, this middle ground, which you're telling me at the moment is better technology,
I dispute
or halfway house.
No, it's not a halfway house. This is within 10 metres of the house.
Okay, 10 metres within, but it wouldn't have been a possibility under Labor because you had put all your eggs in one basket.
To misunderstand this. What this technology trial that's been run in Ballarat shows is the cost of rolling out fibre all the way to the house is going down. We found out that it's cut the cost of fibre to the house by at least $450 per premises and potentially more. As you continue to roll out technology, you find cheaper and better ways to do it with less construction.
But doesn't that then vindicate Turnbull's approach? Because what he's done is, we'll start with fibre to the node, and when you get better, more effective approaches, then we'll adopt it. Whereas Labor's was straight in, all eggs in one basket, fibre to the premises.
They're not doing that. They're sticking with fibre to the node, which we've found is slower and less reliable. There's people that have got fibre to the node on the Central Coast in New South Wales that are now getting slower speeds than they were with ADSL, because when they've switched it on, it's not working properly. The cost of fixing Telstra's old copper that they've brought back to make this work has blown out by 1,000%.
But so let's just clarify then, though. So Labor's policy today is to use fibre to the pit outside the home, fibre to the distribution point.
We'll announce our policy closer to the election. We've said we'll roll out more fibre. What this document shows, though, is that Malcolm Turnbull is too arrogant to give people faster internet speeds. The internet speeds in Australia at the moment are a joke. This technology would give people faster internet speeds. Malcolm Turnbull knows it.
But it seems a no-brainer to me, if listening to your argument this morning, that you would adopt fibre to the the distribution point?
Well, I have said Labor will roll out more fibre. We'll announce our policy closer to the election. What's astounding here is that Malcolm Turnbull has known for a year that you can roll out fibre to the front of people's homes for roughly the same cost as fibre to the node and give people 10 times faster internet speeds, and they've done nothing about it.
But Labor, I mean, because if you look at the polls, things have narrowed. You could be in government. You might rein it in from fibre to the premises to fibre to the pit, for want of a better word.
I think at this election, people will reflect back on Malcolm Turnbull's record. And in the last 2.5 years, he's had basically one job, that's to roll out the NBN. The cost of it has doubled under his watch, and the time it's going to take to build it has doubled as well. It's a mess.
We're going to go to